going to be an exciting day of European Rocket League action. To take us through the action, it will be Shogun and Findable Carpet. Guys, over to you.
In a region full of upsets from week 1, we are going to be looking towards if Leftovers can put themselves 3-0 and give themselves the only strong footing heading into the next couple of weeks in the RLCS, or can their opponents come in and Secrecy take them down?
And as tradition has it, so far, every day here at the RLCS since Season 3 has begun, we've had at least one reverse sweep. So we got to have at least one more today. We got to keep up the tradition. We have to uphold the excitement. And, you know, just to kind of comment on what the guys at the desk think, I really like the storyline of the Leftovers. You know, the people that were picked last for kickball.
Yep.
You know, obviously they couldn't find a team. They tried their best, but they're all three great players. They ended up getting together, picking fun of their own names, the Leftovers, people that weren't on a mainstay roster, but they become one themselves after how they showed last week. So maybe they should change their name, but either way, I'm excited to see how they're going to continue on through this, especially given, right now, going against Team Secrecy, a team coming in to European play we thought was going to be one of the top dogs.
Yeah, last week Team Secrecy did not have the start that they were hoping for, but they have got time to make it up, and they can do that by taking down the current #1 in Europe, the Leftovers. And we are going to get ourselves into a crucial match, as that's going to be an early shot coming out. Team Secrecy starting off exactly how they plan to continue.
Well, they didn't take any time at all to make this first shot. Metz with an incredible strike nearly into the top corner, but Magnus securing it in the opposite corner. I mean, how are you supposed to cover that much ground as a defender? You probably won't, which is why it went in.
Exactly. Team Secrecy coming out with the kidney shock and letting the Leftovers know that they are ready to play this one. So they're going to try and go for yet another team play. Already 1-0, and we've barely got 20 seconds into this matchup. Can Team Secrecy make it too? As we see the passing plays coming through. Team Secrecy looking fluid right now on the offense. But we saw that with Denial yesterday, how you can go for team plays and not necessarily get results for it. Metsunaris is going to clear that one over to the corner. He's going to try and follow this one up. Vera is the only player around that's going to allow Magnus. Gets himself hit, hits the crossbar, and Siki and Farah come together to clear that one away. But Team Secrecy, though, looking phenomenal in this opening minute.
They've had an incredible amount of control, even in the Leftovers half. Sometimes it feels like there's 4 players in their team with the amount of shots they're able to put on in such a short period of time. And Leftovers struggling to follow their own clears. Right now, Snasky's going to push that out. And Farah is out, but he doesn't get a touch. Metz wants to try and keep that control.
Snacky over to Farah. And Magnus has to get the save onto that one, but here come the Leftovers. They're going to be able to put some sustained pressure on, or at least they were able to for a brief period of time. And they're trying to get it through. Magnus has to try and shut that one down from Snasky, but here comes Metsunaris. Hits that one early. Siki just gets him there in time. And look for Siki to be that defensive wall. He's been so solid at it in previous seasons. Been allowed to be a lot more offensive on this roster, but can it continue this week? Another shot comes in. Metsunaris really wants just to get that half-court shot coming through.
Oh, this can be a long shot. Magnus will be there. A lot of last-second defending, but nothing terribly threatening on both sides. Snasky is going to take a shot to the crossbar and demo the goalie. This could be an opportunity for him.
Oh, Magnus couldn't get contact, and Snasky has evened this one up.
Somehow Snasky was able to get this final touch. Farah came in for it, and Snasky, after getting a beautiful demolition, I think, did get a small touch on that. No one knew how to read that ball coming off of 2 players.
Yeah, I think that came straight off Siki, who basically just hit that one straight into Snasky and managed to get the credit for the goal. That's going to be a bad touch there from Magnus. A lot gets a worse one because he hits his teammate away. But Team Secrecy can get themselves back. It was a rollicking good start for them. But now it's 2 minutes into this matchup, and we are evened up here. Magnus goes for the shot. Going to try and put that one up high. As Team Secrecy trying to find their footing yet again. They start off really well. Now the ball's up over the top. Metsunaris puts that one up high yet again. They're getting the ball into a good position, but no one ever ready to go for those rebound shots off the top of the board. And maybe that'll be an area that Team Secrecy wants to look into as this game progresses. Magnus clears that one over into the middle. He's going to try and chase this one down. And he's actually managed to get it. Snasky's been pulled out of this play. That's going to allow Team Secrecy to resort out their rotation, bring some players forward, and that's going to be shown from a lot. Passes that one over. Metsunaris, though, is on the backwards rotation, and no one onto that play.
Team Secrecy's had some phenomenal touches, especially on offense, almost to the point where they're catching each other off guard with some of the passes that they're able to execute right now.
Well, it's over into the corner, and a lot has got to try and take on Siki. It's going to be in a dangerous position. Metzinaris wins that one outright. Hits off the top. Who's going to be there? A lot. Skies it up high. And we're still even here. Team Secrecy, they've had a lot of good opportunities, unable to turn any of them in, though. Metzinaris plays that off the back, but he's got Magnus to look for. Save there from Snaski. Well played, brings himself out early.
We've been seeing a lot of clearing here from leftovers, but no one following it up. Farah's going to send that far to the corner, but Magnus will be there to easily counter it back. If no one follows it up, they're just going to continue to lose possession and give Team Secrecy all the time in the world to keep taking shots.
Magnus finds Metzinaris Farah, though. Just in time, taking that one away from the oncoming attacker. But Team Secrecy starting to find their footing now, starting to find sustained pressure. That's going to be into the corner. Metzinaris looking for that bouncing pass. He's got it over to a lot. A lot puts that one down, though, but only into the waiting car of Siki. And here comes Farah. We've seen him dribble before. Do not let that boy have sustained time on the ball. You will end up regretting it. Shot onto Tiger Snaski with the save.
Leftovers putting themselves in some tight spots already with so many saves. Only 2 saves for Team Secrecy and 7 saves for the leftovers.
Oh! Snaski's got to get behind the goal,
8.
but that's not going to work. Snaski had to get into the goal to clear it, but it was just not quick enough.
Couldn't get there in time. Farah couldn't get there. What a redirect. Putting that over to the post. But like I said, having to sit there on defense for just too long. So many saves, an incredible amount of shots. 11 shots from Team Secrecy right now. Just too much space for them on the side of the leftovers.
Yeah, they're getting loads of time on it. The first time they've really had 2 players on the offensive side, just putting that one down, looking for the redirect, and it works out beautifully for Team Secrecy. And now the leftovers have got to try and claw this one back. They have 25 seconds to do so. So they will at least get one opportunity if they can play it correctly. Here comes Siki. Just can't get the doink onto that one. As Metzinaris has been taken out of this play, that was going to leave 3 players, or at least it was going to a lot. Crucial challenge from him. He's going to chase this one down, try and finish it off right here. And we're down to the final 6 seconds. If the ball touches the floor, at 0 seconds, the game will be over. So here we go. What can they put together? Siki, bad touch from him, and that is going to put it onto the floor. Team Secrecy take game 1.
12 shots to 3.
Yeah.
There may have only been a 1-goal game, but 12 shots to 4, that last one, was able to make the registry. So they do close that gap a bit. But that is not the kind of way you want to start off the first game. The leftovers leaving too much space on defense between the striker and the goal.
Yeah.
You always want to close that gap, cut off those angles. They're having to save so many from the net. And they do have good placement, which is why there was only 2 goals to the 12 shots. So they're doing a good job of defending it and pushing it to the corners. But if they don't follow any of those up, we see a lot of times they're clearing so that they can gather up some boost. And I don't want to say panic because they're doing it on purpose, but they're clearing it to buy themselves some time. But Team Secrecy is the team that's good enough to where their next touch is going to be straight back at you. They're not going to take their time. They're not going to let you come contest it. They're just going to clear it all the way back across the field.
And yeah, they could really do it for a player right now who plays a bit like Mike Rules or Instances. Just pick the ball, go for the dribble. They've got players here that are capable of doing that, but every time they clear it, Team Secrecy just going to pick the ball back up and just go, okay, we're taking it back over here.
Yeah.
We're straight back in your side.
And then they're just going to keep taking shots. I mean, 12 shots is really high, actually. I don't know if I've seen that in quite some time in the last 2 weeks. I don't know if I've seen one that many shots in such a low-scoring game. So that's why I want to give leftovers the credit for their strong defense. But you're never going to win on defense if you only stay there.
Yes,
You have to get to offense eventually, and they're struggling to get there.
Need to find some sort of sustained pressure. Leftovers, they are 1 game down, but they can possibly bring it back. Team Secrecy had the best possible start for themselves last time. They can try and get it yet again, but Metzinaris with the miss onto that ball is going to allow Snaski to at least pressure that one. And this is a great play. Farah, don't know what he was doing in that corner, but he was certainly useful being there. It's Team Secrecy going to get it off the crossbar, or at least above the backboard. As both these teams are going to try and find themselves a way through. Expect to see the rotations be a lot stricter this time around, as neither of these teams will want a mistake.
I'm liking how they're approaching defense now, seeming to look for each other instead so they don't give up possession unnecessarily, the Team Secrecy. But here might be a shot from Metz, just a bit shy.
Ball played over to the side. A lot's got that one down. Fer and Snaski clear that one over into the corner. Can they follow that one up? No, they cannot. It's the ball up high. Here's Snaski, puts that one. That's going to be dangerous now for Team Secrecy because Alot's got to try and deal with it. He's put it straight into a danger area though. Shot onto target. No power on that though. Metzenaris can get that one over to his teammate. Now 1-2. That's going to be a great team play from Team Secrecy.
Snaski made an attempt to bump Metz out of net, but he completely missed. I think he was expecting Metz to jump, and Metz just stared him down and refused to jump over the demo attempt. And that put him out of position, which let them get that 2v1 opportunity. Great passing across the pitch.
Team Secrecy just so good when they're on that counter-attacking play. So quick and crisp the way they move the ball. Yeah, they don't quite look as convincing whenever they've actually got time onto it. Sicky almost had the opportunity just to go for a straight-up jump into the net, but could not get that one in. Snaski's got that over the top. Sicky tries to get the touch on that. He's managed to get it over to Snaski, who puts that one a bit too high. And we're seeing this a lot from leftovers. Just too close to the ball all too often. Not in position to try and run onto the ball and get a decent shot onto target. That should be Magnus's, although the bump was coming towards him, and also a dunk well played to get that one away from danger.
Oh, that was a good effort. Again, looking for each other. They seem to have picked up the pace a lot. The leftovers. They're not just giving up the possession unnecessarily. Sicky, a readable air dribble. Metzenaris was able to reach it.
That's going to be Metzenaris trying to follow this one up. Snaski's got to try and deal with it. It's over in the leftovers' final third. They've got to try and get this one out, and they've managed to do so. Ferrer can follow this one up. So Magnus clears that one away, but Sicky's got that off the backboard. Is anyone going to be on the rotation to get onto this? It's going to be Snaski. Shot hits over the high. And there's going to be no follow-up onto that one. So yet again, leftovers, good build-up, but just no edge to the finishing. There's a lot over into the corner. He's got Magnus to aim for, not enough of a bounce out. And leftovers yet again with those clearances out. That's going to be over towards the net. Ferrer almost dunked his own teammate. That would have been tragic for that team. But the leftovers have got away with it, and there's still one goal down. Final half of this game to go.
A lot less shots on Team Secrecy. Leftovers are closing that gap. Only 4 shots now halfway in. They're slowly shutting that down. They're starting to meet them more at the midfield instead of just letting the shots come out. Sicky getting there almost a bit too late.
Yep, just a little bit too free with letting those balls come off that backboard, and it can be dangerous. That's going to be a shot onto net. Ferrer can't get to that one. It's going to allow it off the crossbar, off the post, and then into Ferrer, who gets that one off the crossbar yet again. Oh my goodness, they've hit the target only once from any of those 4 shots, unable to turn that one in, and Team Secrecy will be kicking themselves that they are not 2-0 up, could be 1-1. No, not turned in, but here comes Ferrer, saved there from a lot, but turned in anyway. Ferrer evens this one up.
After about 6 shots on net, they're able to turn it to offense. Sicky just a bit shy on that shot, a little too high, but Ferrer finding the position that the defender couldn't reach to. He puts it a bit too close to the defender, but still just out of reach enough towards the post, turning that from defense to offense quickly. I mean, to be fair, I don't think if I was Team Secrecy, I would have not tried to capitalize either. So many close shots. Ferrer somehow coming off that back wall for the save.
Ferrer goes from the savior down one end to the killer in the other. And that is going to even this game up, but Team Secrecy will be killing themselves over the fact that they have not managed to turn that one in. Here's Snaski, puts that one up high. He's going to try and follow this one up. Can he get it off the backboard? But no, Magnus is just there.
What a dunk.
Here comes Ferrer just into the position. It's going to be over into the corner. Magnus puts that one over to the side. Here's a lot, just gets it over. And here comes Metzenaris. He can try and get off the backboard, but no contact left from that here. And Snaski's going to take that one over, but he gets bumped by Metzenaris. And a lot looks for that pass, but instead just goes too early. And Sicky will happily take that one away.
The leftovers looking for each other again, but Team Secrecy on offense, they are just unrelentless. Unrelentless? Relentless.
Relentless is the one we want, and that's going to be a good way of describing a Lot's goal just there.
Yep, pretty much. My terrible vocabulary, luckily, is a lot worse than their offense, and a lot somehow sneaks that in. Ferrer just getting close to taking that from the side post, but if you take too many off that sidewall or off the backboard, you're not going to be able to come up from the right angle you want. You want to take at least somebody from the net if possible.
Over into the corner. Here comes Sicky. Him and the rest of the leftovers need to get a goal within the next 30 seconds, so they're going to go 2 games down. And questions will begin to be asked. Remember, at the very top of those leaderboards, 1 game loss could prevent you from entering that top 2. So, leftovers, although they had a great week last week, they will want to continue it. Consistency is the key, and Farah going to try and push this one down. Metzenaris gets a block onto that, but still dangerous. Here they go for their final opportunity. Team Secrecy, though, good clearance there from them, and it's going to be very difficult for them to try and push this one all the way. Magnus pushes that one down, and another 2-1 game for Team Secrecy.
They are keeping it close. Both of these teams, I mean, just barely pulling it out, but again, so many more shots on the side of Team Secrecy. Leftovers, that time they did have a lot more offense. We saw 5 shots there, I think, compared to the 3, barely 4 last time, the 4th shot they pulled out in the last second. A lot less saves this time as well, but still significant amount. 5 saves needed, but they are starting to close that gap. But on defense, they're looking for each other as opposed to just getting the hard clear. But Team Secrecy, we see the kinds of plays they can amount on offense. Just some of the passes they were able to connect to, and some of the kind of misdirections where you act like someone's going to take a shot, then you pass it over, put it above the crossbar, do all sorts of things. You want to pull the defenders into as many options as possible. You want the defenders to go everywhere away from the net.
Yes, and I really feel like now that if Team Secrecy and their shooting was just a little bit more accurate, they'd be wiping the floor of this right now. They really would. But because they're struggling with that just a little bit, leftovers are still keeping it close. But you said earlier on, we've had a lot of reverse sweeps. We've kind of set up for one here.
If there's a team to do it, it's probably going to be the team that's surprising us already, the Leftovers. I mean, they did do well under pressure, and they're keeping these games close. While it does look like Team Secrecy has a lot of control, these are still only one-goal games.
They are.
2-1 for both games. So at any given time, one slightly more accurate shot or one more mistake on defense, this could be a tied game, going into overtime, reverse sweeps, whatever.
Well, I can confirm to you that in the week 2 of qualifying and the first week of league play, the Leftovers have never had a clean sweep, either for them or against them. Can that continue here? And even with that stat, they actually went 5 games out of 8, went at best all 5 games, and Farah's going to try and start that one off early, 1-0. An open goal for him.
Always off of kickoff. Someone's going to go for a boost that probably shouldn't. Someone's going to be a little far up than they shouldn't. It happens more often than we'd like to admit, even here at the pro level. It is so hard to gather your senses, and a lot of times, you know it's the best time to capitalize. You know for a fact that your opponents aren't going to be exactly where they want to be, and they're not going to have the boost they want. But when you go too hard for that opportunity, you end up giving up silly goals like that.
Over into the corner, the Leftovers have got themselves an early lead, which is contrary to what's happened for the first 2 games here, where Team Secrecy took themselves the early lead, but now they're going to try and capitalize on it. Pass over to Farah, who's got that one up high yet again. Sicky's going to look for Farah, who could be looking backwards. Snasky was in position for that third. Now he's got to try and get himself back to save this. He's going to do so comfortably, taking up onto the wall, but here comes Magnus, looks for the bump onto Farah. He also tries to look for another one on Sicky, but both avoid it quite handily. And there's the demo on Metzenaris. Alotto's got the ball. He's put that one up high. Who's got anyone to look for? No, that's just going to be Team Secrecy going back on their rotations, not panicking. They understand they're 1 goal down, but plenty of game left to play.
Lau wants to gain control of this, but Snasky's going to contest. I really appreciate both teams now looking for only teammates. They're trying to make sure every touch has use. You don't want to do unnecessary clears, and you don't want to give up possession.
This ball's going to be left for a long time. Sicky decides just to launch it and forces a good save out of Alot over into the corner. Now Alot's going to try and take this down the entire rest of the way of the field. Out of boost, so just jumps over the top of Farah and goes for the bump onto Snasky, although that is not working out so far for Team Secrecy. And have they got anyone back for this? No, they do not. That can go all the way. Magnus has to get there, but he can't. And Snasky and the rest of the Leftovers get a free goal.
Another open net. Metzenaris coming up for this shot, but Alot wasn't able to retreat in time, trying to steal boost on his way back. Almost a fantastic save from Magnus, but just not enough power to push that out of net. That's going to be 2-0. You know, Shogun,
what?
Looking like the beginning of a potential reverse sweep.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I was going to try and say, we should never guess it too early, but this is the Leftovers, and they proved it last week. Can they prove it again this week? Although that is not good defense from them. And Magnus going to try and put that pressure on. 3 minutes remaining. 2-0 is the scoreline off the backboard. No one there getting contact apart from Farah, the final defender that went for that ball. Snasky putting the pressure on. That can go all the way. Hits the post and almost managed to turn it in off the second shot. Now Metzenaris can take control of the ball. He's going to try and flick it, but no power onto that flick. Easily taken up. Team Secrecy just go for these launching plays. We haven't seen that from them so far in the series. But just trying to force a mistake and a lot. Gets a redirect onto that one. Metznaris tries to push it forward, but Snasky, always that third player, coming in, cleaning up.
I feel like Team Secrecy might be underestimating the potential offensive plays of the leftovers. A lot of, like you said, a lot of clears, and so far 2 wide open nets from just not rotating back on defense. Simple rotations so far have been the punishing factor.
Magnus! His team have a shot at this one now within 1 goal, and we've still got plenty of game left to play.
That aggressive positioning seems to have paid off this time. Magnus did get there. Farah, while he was in net, wasn't faced the correct direction. Magnus seeking out the back bumper of Farah, making it a lot harder for him for that save.
So 2-0 is currently the scoreline in the series as Team Secrecy tried to round this one out, but they've got some work to do. And they will look to do it indeed as Farah is going to try and push this one forward, however. Can't get any contact on that though. It's going to allow Magnus just to take this control. And yet again, the flick just not that strong. Those Sickies come out of the rotation. But Team Secrecy not quick enough to latch onto it, and that rotation is now back in order for the leftovers. Sustained pressure coming out. A lot tries to get there. Played away though. And now that's going to be a long clearance. Hits the top of the post. Oh, the crossbar, however. And Magnus has to clear that one away. But yet again, Team Secrecy almost letting go of what is basically just a long clearance turning into a goal.
It's almost like they've switched roles right now, and it is 2-1 in the opposite favor. But Team Secrecy giving up a lot of possession to the leftovers. This time it will get contested by a lot in the middle. Will Metznaris get up for the shot? He does. Just the crossbar comes down right into Magnus. Too dedicated for that save for the leftovers.
Team Secrecy do not want to hear anything about a reverse sweep. Great touch there from Metznaris. Completely sets up Magnus, who will just have to tap that one in. And we are back up to 2-2. 1 minute and 9 seconds remaining. And the leftovers have let go of a 2-0 lead. Here comes Farah looking for Snasky, who's going to put that one back down. But Farah's landing was not good enough. Continued pressure, though, coming out from the leftovers, as they need to try and find a way of breaking what has been a 2-goal scoring streak for the Team Secrecy. As Farah puts that one, no one in net yet again, and Team Secrecy, this is twice now.
3 times.
3 times?
All 3 goals have been to lack of rotation. Not to take anything from the leftovers. Think Sicky looked like he was about to seek out a lot for the demo, but he didn't need to, because a lot took himself out of net to go for a boost. He thought he was safe. It was coming out to the midfield. He's like, all right, I can sneak out some time. I'm going to go come out of net for a second, grab some boost. But it wasn't enough. The leftovers saw the opportunity and struck.
So back into the lead, and Sicky's going to try and make it 2. Hits the post, hits the other post, and then gets himself a goal. We are back to a comfortable lead yet again.
Thought it was going to potentially be a sweep when they tied it up. Team Secrecy looked like they were starting to get a lot more momentum, but Sicky coming in just in time, trying to get out their pace, really has picked it up.
So, 37 seconds remaining, 2 goals up, could be 3. Well, that is just too slow, and it wasn't on target anyway. Here comes Farah off the crossbar, right up to the top of the field, and here's Sicky, and that's going to be that team's 5th goal, and we are going to go to a game 4 definitely now.
I don't know what is going on with the defense right now for Team Secrecy. Magnus turned around a bit too much, him and a lot, both going up for that save. It's just very uncharacteristic of them.
Really is, but they have got games to work with. They certainly will not be happy with the way they have played in this, but they only need 1 more win to close out this series. That's not going to be good defensive play, but it is not going to matter at this point in time, as Team Secrecy have given 1 up. That's going to be ball played over into the corner, straight into the middle, and a miss there. So Carpet, preemptively, what do Team Secrecy need to do heading into game 4?
Well, stop letting in silly goals.
Yep.
Pretty much the obvious one. It's just a matter of they had control. They've had control all series. And even if the leftovers are starting to pick up the pace, it doesn't mean that you have to do the same right in return. You can find the opportunities. You don't need to force offense if it's not there. If you don't have the boost for it and you can't move up as a team, you don't need to force the play to happen. And if you can't be there and you don't have the boost for it, you're probably just going to let in open nets, as we saw 3 of those 5 goals from the leftovers were just wide open. Team Secrecy just nowhere to be found. What is defense, right?
Yes.
Then the next 2 were just fantastic plays from leftovers, just beating out the pace of Team Secrecy, quickly off of kickoffs as well, maybe about 10, 15 seconds. We saw a lot sneaking off for boost one of those times. When you put enough pressure, obviously that's going to happen. But I think if Team Secrecy, if they wait for the opportunities instead of trying to force them when they don't have the boost, they'll be in a better spot. Because like I said, they've had control all the way up until this game.
Well, we're going to take a look at Ferra's first goal in this game. And Ferra, as scrappy some of these goals were, 100% goal participation in this game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. 3 assists and 2 goals himself. He was a part of every single one that happened, and that's the first one. Even if he wasn't there, that would have gone in. That defender, there's no way he would have reached that. He, on a freakish note, he might have been able to push it over the post, but most likely from what I could tell, there's no way he would have even made it.
No.
So Ferrer was there for the goal secured to make sure, but even you can tell, he turned around only because it was coming his way. He wasn't like looking for a pass by any means, nor did he think it would ever reach him. So it's those small little things that I think if Team Secrecy can pick it up, they've got a good chance of taking game number 4 and the series. They are 1 game away from taking the first series of the day.
Certainly isn't it? It's a rainy day on Manfield as we are going to get ourselves into game 4. Leftovers and Team Secrecy have certainly had a slower brawl than usual, but it's been a brawl nonetheless. As Ferrer goes for the early shot, Metanaris has to get a save onto that one. Was slightly out of position, but managed to correct himself nonetheless. Here comes a lot. Ends up missing that one. Snaski's pushed that one over into the corner as Magnus again has to go for the clearance. Team Secrecy being pressured into their own end to start off this matchup. But the long clearance comes through, and this is what they were dangerous on in the first game. But well defended there by the Leftovers. This is going to be interesting to see. Team Secrecy, can they go back to what they were doing in the opening couple of games? Or is the rotation going to break down yet again? Looking a lot better, but that was a phenomenal shot coming out from Snaski, hitting the crossbar and then going in.
Picture perfect placement. Magnus didn't get off the backboard, and Ferrer decided to bail on that, and he sure is glad he did because his teammate Snaski could not have placed that any better, perfectly into the upper 90.
That is the reason why you do not allow balls to go into that danger area. Shot comes in. Siki was going for boost off the kickoff. Managed to get himself back just in time. It would have been an awful way to give up what was a hard-earned first goal from a sublime shot coming out from Snaski. Metanaris trying to get that one over to Magnus. Magnus there just in time. Went for the air roll. Try and turn that one in, but could not get any contact. Now still dangerous. Ferrer has put that into a same danger area. It's going to go up high. Siki has to get that one just in time before anyone can come for the rebound. It's Team Secrecy, they're pushing up here quite a bit, but they can gobble this ball up and try and play it away.
Both Snaski and Mets faking each other out. Oh, Ferrer, you don't want to put it right there in front. Siki has to make
He's not going to
risky
do it.
save. Oh, not a great touch from Ferrer. He actually centered it for his opponents. He wanted to get a hard clear there, but he didn't turn his car enough. Hit it with the side. It was significantly weaker. Siki did his best. He did his darndest.
He certainly did. Tried to jump. Did not expect that shot to be coming in at all in that scenario, so his car was not in the correct position. Just had to do the best with what he was given. Unfortunately, he was not given much. And Ferrer goes for the early shot. Turns that one off the crossbar. Snaski gets himself up high. But Metanaris gets the clearance away onto that one, and now he's going to continue to try and follow this one up. He's got it onto his car. Going to go for the dribble. Early shot from him, Siki. Great save, but only over to a lot. Hits the post. Team Secrecy cannot hit the target all that consistently, and it is costing them. And they're going to try and turn this one in. A lot finally gets that one down, hits the floor, and turns it in.
7 shots in the first 2 minutes. Team Secrecy ramping it up again, trying to bring it down a lot with the angle that he needed. Snaski couldn't return in time to the goal line to save that. It's always frustrating, I'm sure, when you're just sitting in the net and you're there, but you just don't have the time or the boost or the speed to get to it in time. But to watch it come your way, know you're on the right side of the ball, but just don't have the right pace. Siki
managed to almost dig himself into a bad situation. No one took the shovel away from him, and he continued to dig downwards. But managed to clear that one away anyway. Leftovers must win this matchup to continue the series. 2.5 minutes remaining, and a lot gets contact. These teams have just got so good at reading that backboard. What used to be just an incredibly dangerous area that a lot of teams didn't consider to be capable of defending, but they've all got so good at it recently, almost annihilating it and removing it as a potential play as a lot tries to turn that one in. It's going to be Metanaris, gets that one off the top of the goal. Will anyone be following that? Nope. As the Leftovers are the team that need to push up. Team Secrecy refusing to over-rotate. Metznaris tries to turn that one in, but it was just blocked early on. Farah gets that one down. He's got no one to aim for, though, apart from himself. Continues to follow that one. Cleared over to the side. A lot over to Metznaris. Let's put that one up high. Is Magnus going to go for that? Yes, he is. He's got a lot to aim for. He's going to try and get to him. Turns that one. No, he cannot get contact. Would have been a great play if they could have got it right. But they are still in the lead, and it's leftovers with 1 minute and 36 seconds remaining with it all to do.
Seems the leftovers are a bit more flat-footed on defense now. Some really close opportunities from Team Secrecy. But as we saw earlier, accuracy seems to be plaguing them at the moment, just a bit off on so many of their shots. This game could be such a larger gap, and there it is, enough pressure, and you won't even find defense anymore. No one from the leftovers had retreated. Both Siki and Farah going up for this.
Yep, you cannot send two players to those sort of plays. You need to have the communication going, and it's just one lapse, one miscommunication where you just do not tell your teammate where you're going, you do not tell your teammate what you are doing, and that makes a mountain out of a molehill for the leftovers. As they're going to try and get one back here. Snasky tries to take that all the way. Two players commit to that. Farah should be able to get that one, but a lot is there just in time. Oh! Snasky and Farah, they've hit it. And then finally, Farah puts that one in. It is not beautiful. It is not gorgeous, but it is a goal.
I think that was shot 4, 5, and 6 for Farah. That was 3 shots on target right there. The first one getting saved by Team Secrecy. The second one, the sabotage from his teammate. But he still managed to sneak it in. Now this is a 1-goal game, 1 minute left. Can the leftovers stay alive in this series, or will Team Secrecy take the first one of the day?
Well, that mountain is back to a molehill. Snasky takes that past one player, tries to go for the block onto Magnus. As the leftovers still need to find another one. They've done well to get this far. But here comes Siki. He's got the ball in his car. Looks for Farah, taking out one player. Farah's got it onto his hood. And there we see the jump up. A lot was actually in the background, but Siki went for the bump. Unable to turn that one in. That's going to be a dangerous bounce. Metznaris gets there just in time. But here comes sustained pressure. That's an open goal! 3-3! And the leftovers continue to make it difficult, but continue to make it back.
One by one, pulling out the defenders. And Magnus, why'd you turn that way? He turned left instead of right. He could have easily been in a position to save that. But as you said, one lapse in judgment's all it takes to let it go. And now tied up with 38 seconds left. Can the leftovers stay alive?
They have been in this position before. Leftovers, they've left it open. No, they have not. Snasky comes flying in from the side to take that one away. And we have got ourselves a real match here. Snasky clears that one, but it's not that convincing. He needs someone to get back to help him out because he is out boost. Just picks him up there, though. And Magnus's failed touch will give the leftovers some reprieve. Siki following this one, gets that one just over the top, just trying to waste time here. They do not want to make any mistakes. Magnus going to clear that one over to the side. Tries to follow it, gets some extra contact, takes Snasky out of the play. Although this could be one more opportunity. That's put up by Farah, trying to barrel himself down into that goal. But we are in overtime here.
The deciding minute for the series. Snasky's going to send it up high. Team Secrecy just has to be careful. No more hiccups on defense. They've had too many this series.
And we say a lot when it comes to the leftovers that this could be a defining part to their season. Yet again, this could be a defining part to their season, as they always just seem to make it so difficult for themselves, but they are within reaching distance of sending this to a game 5. A lot turns that one down, though. Metznaris going to go for the shot. Farah jumped early. Shot was not on target, and Snasky had it covered nonetheless. So Magnus turning that one out, and we can see all of leftovers on that goal line. Wondering how much boost some of them have here. A lot's going to turn that one into a danger area. Metznaris was sat there ready waiting. Siki, crucial contact from him. Now Farah gets that one past Magnus. Can he follow that one up? No, Metznaris just in the correct position, but two players coming out for that. Farah puts that one over the top. Here comes Siki, save there from Metznaris. And now here is going to be leftovers in the position that they prefer, though. Consistent, sustained pressure. That's going to be dangerous. They have to get behind the ball. Someone touched it. Siki's going to come in, turned into the side of the net. Game 5, here we come.
Always putting themselves in some of the tightest situations. This stayed in front of the net for such an uncomfortable amount of time. But Siki found the hole, came in and secured it. No one from Team Secrecy decided to actually dedicate themselves to that save. No one in a good angle. Everyone thought maybe their teammate had a better angle. And no one went for it. It sat in front of the net, and the leftovers bring it to game 5. Shogun.
Yes, Carpet.
That button.
Press it.
Press it. It's the real game. The real game button has been pressed.
Look at Farah, 8 shots from him. Although, we do need to complain a little bit here. That defense from Team Secrecy there, they had one player here, they had one player here, And if you could let me borrow a hand.
Yeah,
one
here.
player here.
This?
Then this.
Okay, but where's this on the field? I need a.
They're just doing nothing, really.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, like your hands when
A
you're
bit
talking.
like my hand. That's exactly what I was going for on that one.
What do I do with them?
What do I do with them? What do I do with my hands? What do they do with the ball? Either way, we know exactly what we're doing next. We are going to game number 5. The Leftovers, 6 games out of the 9 that they have played in the RLCS from week 2 of qualifying onwards have gone to game 5. They do not make it easy for themselves, but they make it so entertaining.
I think they're related to Selfless. Honestly,
might be. They honestly might be.
Europe and North America both have the masochistic teams that are just like, let's make this as hard as we can on ourselves. Let's bring all our games to overtime and lose all the first few and then always have to reverse sweep everything and then still manage to pull it off because we're insane.
Exactly. Here we are in a game that will put Team Secrecy within touching distance of that top half of the bracket after what was a bit of a difficult week for them last week. Or will the Leftovers continue to be perfect after taking down Flipside and Northern Gaming last week? Can they continue their run? We are going to find out here as Farah turns that one up high. Metznaris gets the clearance over. That's going straight over to Siki, who launches it early. Oh my goodness, the laser beam!
11 seconds into this, and Siki does not even take time to breathe before striking this from the corner. What beautiful accuracy. We've seen it from him time and time again, to the corners, to the posts, from the corner, around the corner. Dude doesn't care, man.
Dude does not care. And here is the stat that I'm sure all of you have seen. If Siki can make it to the LAN in this season, he will be the first player to make it with 3 different teams. Incredible as he is trying to get his team there. But they need to win this one first. Focus on the task at hand. Farah going to misposition that ball. Metznaris close to the corner, though. It's going to be a miss there from Farah. It's going to allow Team Secrecy to start pushing themselves forwards. Putting that one up high, but Snasky's got that one covered. Now can he try and follow this one up? He's got some protection there in the form of Farah. 2 players, though, committed to that from the Leftovers. Although Siki comes in, another shot from him. Oh, wow, Siki has got his eye on that goal in this game. Do not allow him to have any free shots.
And he has reminded Team Secrecy that he is quite a threat on offense. So now every time they see anyone going for this ball, especially if it's Siki, they have to make sure to posture themselves on defense enough to make saves anywhere in the net.
Snasky, early shot from him.
Oh!
Finds himself caught on the post, 2-0, and the Leftovers, they are on course to the left to make this comeback.
This is too much for my heart to handle. Magnus trying to take that off the back wall, and I said it before, if you're going to take it off the back wall, you have to either be just impeccable with your placement of your car and your movement, or you better have the time to react, because you most likely want to take it from the net, especially with those low-flying shots.
Magnus, that one first, but he's going to get blocked. Farah is through on this one. There is no one back on net. Here comes Siki. Picks up the ball. Waits a little while, but gets tackled by Metznaris. And now Magnus goes for the long clearance. Nasky's almost out of position, but just stopped his car in the correct position to try and turn that one away. Here's Snasky finding Farah, but just a bit too far forward. Metznaris ends up missing that one. Here comes Siki, and the rest of the Leftovers save there from Magnus. And Team Secrecy, they need to find a way forward here. They need to find a way of getting themselves back into this matchup. Farah going to continue to put that pressure. The Leftovers refusing to sit on this 2-goal lead. They want to make it 3, and they want to try and finish this one off in style. Snasky's got to try and deal with a lot, and that's going to be more difficult than he was anticipating, so requires Farah to come in to help him out. But they've cleared it away yet again. 2 minutes down in this matchup. The Leftovers find themselves in a very strong position here.
Just about half the game done, and they're up by 2 goals, and only a single shot at a Team Secrecy. That was shot number 2. Not a very threatening shot.
Metznaris tries to get himself up for that one a lot. And the rest of Team Secrecy, Metznaris could be found on that one. He's rotated back. Here comes Magnus with the shot. Farah, just a charging goalkeeper, gets himself right in the way, and Farah's actually destroyed Metznaris in the background, but taking himself out of the rotation as well. Here comes a lot, puts that one up high. It's not too good of a pass here from him. Did not catch the angle he wanted. It's going to be an early shot there from Team Secrecy. And it just seems like they're a little bit panicked now with their plays. We saw so many phenomenal passing plays coming out from them earlier on, not finding them anymore as they just seem to try and launch it and find any sort of gaps in the leftovers defense.
And they're doing a fantastic job of putting on the placement, putting on the shots, and forcing Siki, Snasky, and Pharaoh to go for a lot of saves, especially a couple of risky ones up in the corner, but then they don't follow it up. They're not capitalizing after pulling out a defender, and then leftovers just turn it back on him and start the passing plays of their own.
Siki clears that one away. Team Secrecy, they are running out of time on this one, 1.5 minutes remaining in this matchup. Can the leftovers do it yet again? Their second reverse sweep in league play, which is incredible because they've only played 3 games this season. Magnus tries to turn that one in. And here comes Siki, he's on the counter-attack. Another goal will finish this one up. He's looking for Farah, just passed that one too far back. Those time is still ticking away. Any time in offense is still good time wasted for the leftovers. Shot early coming out. That's going to be a save there from Siki. Not only a save, but a launcher down into the other end of the field. Put up high. Snasky's got that one covered, and this wall defense coming out big here for the leftovers. Nothing from Team Secrecy getting anywhere dangerous just yet.
Folks, this might become tradition if we see yet another reverse sweep. Only 46 seconds left, and Team Secrecy really has not been able to put a lot of threatening shots on. 4 shots on target so far. Here we go, though.
Oh, Lot with the thunder shots coming through. Great pass there from Magnus. But look at this one. You are not saving that.
The moment you let your guard down, Team Secrecy will take advantage. 4 shots on target up until that point that hadn't been terribly threatening, but there it is, threading the needle. A lot is able to capitalize. A 1-goal game, but under a minute left.
Off the side, here comes a Lot. Tries to make himself a 2-goal hero. As Magnus and a Lot both in the same position, it's going to require Metznaris to make some good decisions here. He's got beat on that one, but a Lot is back just in time, but more time wasted. 23 seconds remaining in this matchup. Metznaris, nice pass from him, but too close to the leftovers defense. Here comes Metznaris. He's going to have to try and take on Siki in this scenario. Ball put up high, 12 seconds remaining here. The leftovers on the cusp of their 3rd win of the season, but they've just got to hold themselves out. Magnus going to turn himself around. Farah with the clearance. One more opportunity. Team Secrecy, can you do it? Magnus puts that one. It's just going to touch the floor. The leftovers complete the reverse sweep.
That's it. It's tradition now.
It is.
This is my call out to everyone, every team out there in the RLCS. That is now 4 days in a row we've had reverse sweeps, which means every day we don't have it, I'll be disappointed in every single one of you out there. So please keep this up. But I don't understand how teams pull this off. I guess that some people just want the pressure of knowing they might lose. Going down 2 games right away, but as we said, they were so close. The score line for the game 1 and game 2 were only 2-1. Yes. So leftovers were keeping it close, but they didn't have any offensive control. It was just Team Secrecy just striking shot after shot after shot until eventually a few of them went in. But it just turned completely around, and under pressure, they seemed to have a really hard time keeping up defense.
Certainly was. What an unbelievable comeback we've seen here from the leftovers. Let's break this one down. Wavepunk, over to you.
Thanks so much, Shogun. Guys, what is happening right now? That is they've played 3 series and 2 have been reverse sweeps.
They just have to let the leftovers win games 1 and 2, and maybe it'll help. I have no idea. That's, oh man, Secrecy's got to be feeling really bad, but they have to bounce back too right after that reverse sweep. But leftovers 3-0 now, and they're done for the week, so they're happy. They're undefeated. They must be feeling fantastic.
Who at this point is taking down leftovers? Like, who left in their schedule or should they even be afraid of at this point?
I think they're more afraid of games 1 and 2 than a team necessarily, and hopefully some other team can beat them in games 3, 4, and 5. But
they've still got to play Pocket and Mocket, I believe.
They sure do.
I mean, Europe is completely stacked. I think any team can beat them. It's just, can they finish against them? Because leftovers. They just can't lose when it's the last game.
Well, take me back to games 1 and 2. So what was going on in those first 2 games for Secrecy?
Secrecy, just all offense. And that's what their team was all about, just trying to get shot after shot after shot. And it works when the other team can't counter you. But as soon as they counter you and get wide open nets, because we saw a lot of games lately this whole season are just 2 goals to 1. It's very hard to score in this league, so you shouldn't be giving wide open nets away.
Yeah, and I thought Magnus and Mets were playing really well together. We saw them connect a couple times, and also a lot. He did a good job of kind of being a nuisance, getting these touches at mid to kind of get it past the defense, allowing his teammates to score. But in the end, it was just ice water running through the veins of the guys on leftovers, just going down 2 games to nothing and then getting that reverse sweep again. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that game 3 was huge for Leftovers. They were up 2-0, then Secrecy ties it, then 3 extremely quick goals to just blow out that game, and that's where Leftovers can breathe a sigh of relief for a little bit and get ready for game 4.
But they did get kind of lucky on that one shot from Farah where Snasky blocked it and it went back into Farah. That was such a crazy shot, and I think they ended up winning that game. It got Sicky scored a game-tying goal to force overtime, and then they won in overtime. And I thought Sicky, again, he played surgically. He had a lot of just stellar shots on net, keeping his team in it, and he's just proving that he's just one of those players that steps up. He's been to every LAN. He's had a lot of roster changes, but it's never affected him and his play. He's been on point.
Well, you guys mentioned Europe being just a stacked place to play right now. Everybody playing so well. 100% of the goals in that entire series were assisted on both sides of the ball. Not a single play was made alone. Everyone playing together as a team.
It's kind of a huge contrast from yesterday. North America, like at the start of the day, kind of some rough series, to say the least, but this series was a lot of fun, a lot of action, great passing, and that's what Europe's all about. They know how to pass in the open field. They don't necessarily have to use the walls for passes, more like North America has to sometimes on some teams. So Secrecy should keep their head up. They played pretty well. They, of course, wanted that win, but they're only 0-2, and they still have one more game left.
Absolutely. They will need to keep their head up because we're going to go to a break, but when we come back, Secrecy is going to be taking on Penta Sports. Secrecy is going to be looking to bounce back here. They really want to get that second win, but Penta is going to be coming for them. It's going to be a great series. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.